Hello and welcome to Tristal's Top 10 Favorite Pokemon for Competitive Battling. This is just my personal favorite Pokemon and some of their sets that I use in competitive battling that I enjoy the most. Now, it isn't my all-time top 10 favorite Pokemon. It's not the best Pokemon ever to use in battling. It is just my personal favorite Pokemon that I enjoy using the most while battling against other opponents in a competitive nature. So, here we go. I hope you enjoy this top 10. Number 10. Number 10 on today's list is Gligar. Gligar is a beast in the UU tier. Gligar can take any hit in the UU tier besides ice and water moves on the physical side from any Pokemon. It doesn't matter whether it's a V-creating Victini, an outraging dragon, any dragon really, mainly Flygons. It doesn't matter what type. Gligar can take it, except of course for ice and water. Really, the only thing that stops this power beast in the UU tier is Azumarill. But plus the fact that it gets Stealth Rocks, it can Earthquake for decent damage. It is quite fast for a defensive wall, meaning it is able to effectively use Taunt on the opponents. With access to U-turn, it does easily give switch advantage. Gligar is, in my opinion, the best defensive wall in the UU tier. And if you have something to take water and ice moves for Gligar, you're virtually set. You really have no worries at all. Number 9. Next on the list, we have an extremely potent and attacking wall in the OU tier. Breloom. Breloom, Technician boosted, Toxic healing. Either way, it doesn't matter. With a massive 130 base attack, with access to Mach Punch, Spore, even though it's an attacking war, it's still recommended is Spore. It just dominates. A Technician, Choice Banded, Bullet Seed, not even Gliscor can handle that. Just so much raw power in one Pokemon. It is my personal favorite 3rd gen poke, as I assume it is many. This Breloom just has gotten me out of so many situations in a battle with just Bullet Seed, Mach Punch, Spore, with so many bulky waters running around. Breloom is your best friend in the OU tier, and that's why I feel it deserves the number 9 spot. Number 8. Roserade. Not only is Roserade a great special wall, it is such a good special attacker, and probably my favorite set is the Life Orbed one with Giga Drain, Sleep Powder, Sludge Bomb, and Hidden Power Ice. The set usually Roserade is walled by Roserade, but with Hidden Power Ice, you just can't go wrong. I always run Speed. Speed on Roserade is, people put max HP, but Speed on Roserade really helps, and it's just so much fun just putting stuff to sleep and then just going to town on it, because there's nothing they can do, because they can't kill it, they can't hurt it, and any damage they do to Roserade, it just heals off even with a bloody Life Orb. Roserade is so awesome and so powerful. Though it does get a lot of respect in the UU tier, I feel it deserves more, because that poke is so much fun to use and abuse. Especially with Natural Cure, it's nearly impossible to kill a Roserade. Number 7. Yanmega. Probably the best special sweeper in the UU tier at the moment. with speed boost and plenty of special attack, this thing just sweeps. With excellent coverage, with Bug Buzz, Giga Drain, Hidden Power, whatever you want, and Protect just to stop, just to get you setting up. It's really hard to stop a Yanmega once it gets one speed boost. The amount of Pokemon I have swept with just Yanmega is amazing. I feel Yanmega is one of those Pokemon that should be, if not soon, moved up to the OU tier, because for something like that to be able to sweep entire teams, I feel it is a little too strong for the current tier it is in at the moment. Yet it still doesn't get enough respect, I feel, because it is severely not used enough in the UU tier. Number 6. Tornadus T. Though now it has been pushed into Ubers, Tornadus T was, and still probably is, one of my favorite special sweepers. When I first started competitively battling, Tornadus T was fresh out, and it was part of my original team that I first created. And it just punched holes in any team I needed it to. Hurricane from a Tornadus T was an amazing thing, and I'm quite sad now that it has been banned to the Ubers tier, because yes, it probably was too strong for OU, but I just loved using it so much, and it regenerator, so it didn't really care about Stealth Rocks, and the fact that it just killed everything. Now it's gone, and I have to live with that. And maybe one day I'll try it in Ubers, but I'll always love it for what it did on my original team and the battles it helped me win at the beginning when I started first battling. Number 5. Halfway through the list, and we now have Volcarona. Oh, what isn't there to say about Volcarona? It's quick. One Quiver Dance and you sweep entire teams. It is great dual stab. If you could be careful of Stealth Rocks, run a spinner, or run something with U-turn to bring in it at the right time, it is nearly impossible to stop. With my favorite set being the Rain Hurricane set. It's kind of been a pseudo replacement for Tornadus T since it's now been moved to Ubers, but it's amazing. Volcarona just is an incredible Pokemon, and I feel it actually should also be moved to Ubers. Even though it has a quad weakness to rocks, I feel it stands up alongside Ho-Ho in the Ubers tier where it should belong, because one Quiver Dance and Hurricane sweeps entire teams. And that's just fact. You can't argue that. I've seen people do it. I've done it multiple times. Even the best Special Wall can barely take 2 hits from Volcarona in the rain with a Hurricane. Number 4. Honchkrow, the Pimp. My favorite physical sweeper in the UU tier. Honchkrow is incredible. Sucker Punch for days. Even though it doesn't have the speed, Sucker Punch, Brave Bird, Superpower combination. You really don't need anything more from a Pokemon. This thing just kills teams. I've been down 6-1, brought in a Honchkrow and won it multiple times. All from predictions. Now, Honchkrow is one of those Pokemon which you have to play smart. You have to know when they're going to use Toxic. You have to know when they're going to sub. You have to know when they're choiced, when they're not choiced. But if you learn how to play with a Honchkrow, it is one of the most rewarding experiences you'll ever have. Because being able to predict your opponent with such a powerful Pokemon, you are nearly unstoppable. This Pokemon is amazing, and with Moxie on its side, it is nearly unstoppable after 2 kills. You bring it in on something that's weak, just Brave Bird, kill something, because every time you Brave Bird, you virtually kill something, and then you sweep. That's basically all Honchkrow does. Number 3. Yes, both evolutions are on the list. Why? Because they both deserve to be there for individual reasons. Gligar is one of those special, once-in-a-while Pokemon. And for the fact that it got an evolution to an even better Pokemon is incredible. Gliscor is the best defensive ball in OU. It is better than Ferrothorn. Now you'll be like, but Ferrothorn has better defenses. Ferrothorn has spikes and Stealth Rocks. Ferrothorn can Leech Seed. Who gives a shit? Gliscor if you're smart, he'll never be put to sleep. He can never be burnt. He gets toxic, but it heals him. Something that every other wall seems to have problem with is residual damage, but Gliscor takes it and doubles it in health. Gliscor can take choice banded hits from Salamence, except for Ice Fang. It has the same weakness as Gligar is the water ice, but it is so much more. With Gligar is good for taking hits, but Gliscor is great for the stall. If you want a stall team, you need Gligar's evolution, Gliscor, on your team. Why? Because if you outspeed any poke and it's toxic, and you have sub protect, it is impossible to hurt Gligar. Gliscor. It's impossible to hurt Gliscor. Gliscor is just one beast that refuses to die. It is nearly impossible to kill if it has a sub up. Though there are certain pokes that wall the set I like to run with the sub toxic protect earthquake, such as Gengar and Skarmory, but who cares? Gliscor is one hell of a wall that deserves so much more respect and would dominate in any tier it was placed in. Number 2. Now this may be a bit of a shock, but yes, number 2 is Gastrodon. Gastrodon is one of those Pokemon that you look at and you go, why would anyone use it? Oh, it's water grass. Yeah, there's tons of, not water grass, water ground. There's tons of water ground. You got Quagsire, you've got a Swampert, and you'd think, oh well, they've got better stats in the things that you want, they'd do better. But no, Gastrodon is one of those special Pokemon where everything comes together in a perfect bundle. With the ability Storm Drain, you switch in on a water move and you become incredible. Gastrodon is one of those rare Pokemon that control Kyogre. Troll Kyogre. One of the strongest Pokemon, one of the most used Pokemon in Ubers, and Gastrodon just trolls it. Gastrodon also with Recover, with Scald, with Toxic, with its massive amount of health, it can take any hit and hit back extremely hard. Except for Grass, you can take it. I've seen it just. Gastrodon is like the perfect thing for Terrakion. People are like, oh, Golurk is pretty good. No. Gastrodon can take a close combat and then just kill it with whatever it decides. If it wants to use Scaldar, well, it's dead. If it wants to use Earth Power, it's dead. It can recover off any damage. It can just... you could run a Life Orb set, you can run a Spec set, you can run a specially defensive set, a physically defensive set. You can run really any set you want on, except for mainly a physical attack. Even Earthquake is still a great move on Gastrodon. Yet, it doesn't seem to get anywhere near the respect that it deserves. It kills things. I'm so paranoid about the people having Gastrodon that I run grass moves on all my water Pokemon just for Gastrodon. And even on my Thunderous T on a team I have at the moment, I run Grass Knot just for Gastrodon. That is how this Pokemon has affected my battling, and I feel it deserves a lot more respect, and if it goes down to you, I'll be happy. Why? Because it's another tier I can dominate with Gastrodon. Number 1. And the number 1 Pokemon is Skymin, or as you all know, Shaymin Skyform. Skymin is my favorite Pokemon, not because it has the highest special attack, not because it has the quickest speed, but because of how fun it is to use. It is so much fun to Seed Flare with a Skymin, just because it's so fast, and it's such a fun design, Skymin. It's so fun to troll people with a Skymin. It's just this cute little thing with a little scarf, and it just wins. And there's nothing more fun than just winning with a Pokemon that you just love to look at. Now, Skymin you can run any set. You can run Choice Scarf, you can run Choice Specs, you can run it in the sun with Growth, you can run it anywhere you want. You can... all you need is Air Slash, Seed Flare, and whatever hidden power you want. You can use Sub, you can have Elite Seed, you can have anything you want virtually that's in its set, and it'll work just because Skymin's Skymin. This is just so special and fun. The Pokemon sprite even looks like it's having fun, and to be honest, my personal favorite move in the game is Leech Seed. There's nothing better than a move that at each turn takes away their health and gives you some. And the fact that you can't tell me there's nothing more sweet than getting a Leech Seed off on a Blissey, because that is, I think, the greatest joy in the game. Just watching it take 12% and you healing like 50%. Oh, and the fact that people run like a air slashing one. I've never actually run an air slashing one used specifically for flinching, and those people aren't seeing the joy of the fact that it has a stab of Seed Flare of 120 stab plus a 60% chance of lowering their special defense twice. Like, the fact that it forces so many switches with Seed Flare and Leech Seed, it just... no team, I think, can really handle the amazingness that is Skymin, because it's just amazing. And I hope I am portraying to whoever watches this video, how many little or few people watch this, the sheer pleasure I get from playing with Skymin. And not the air slashing, flinching set. No, I'm talking just a regular Seed Flaring, Hidden Power Icing, Leech Seeding, Subbing, Stalling, Growth, Setting Up in the Sun set that I feel people neglect to use because all they see is Serene Grace. Well, let's just air slash everything and flinch them to death, because that's not cool, man. and I hope that one day people will see the true amazingness that is Skyman or Shaman's alternate form. Thank you all for watching. I hope today that you've learnt some interesting Pokemon. I know some are kinda really used and some aren't really used at all, but I hope you enjoy. If you'd like, remember to subscribe, like, comment, do what you do. And if you want to challenge me on Showdown, my name's there. And I hope to see you all guys in my next video.